Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to our somatics class today. So today we are going to be laying down flat on our mat. So get yourself comfortable into some comfy clothes and roll out your mat and find yourself a space to start our class. So as we do with each class, closing down our eyes, finding connection with our bodies. And taking 3 deep breaths into our heart space. In through the nose, out through the mouth, letting go, slowing down. And again, in through the nose, out through the mouth, filling that heart space. One more time, breathing in through the nose, into our heart space, and breathing out through the mouth, letting go, slowing down. And after we've taken those 3 deep breaths in through. Once we have taken those 3 deep breaths, gently opening our eyes and coming into a laying position. So we are going to be laying flat on our back, head flat, arms, palms facing, arms a little away from the body, palms facing upwards. As we're laying here, we're first going to become aware of our body and how we are laying on the floor, on the mat. Starting with our feet, becoming aware of our feet, our heels, and how our heels are resting on the mat. Are they equal? You feel one heel turned out a little more than the other. We're not going to change anything right now. Right now, we are just observing how our body connects with Mother Earth. Moving up our ankles, feeling into those ankles, side to side. How do they feel? Just noticing if any judgment comes in. And just allowing that to pass, whether it's good or bad, doesn't matter. Just observing, moving our attention up to our calves. Again, noticing how the calves are laying on the mat. How rotated is one, not rotated. Is there pain, discomfort, tightness? Just noticing without judgment, without needing to change. Allowing our attention to move up into our knees. Bringing our awareness to our knees. Tightness. The lock. Judgment. Moving our attention up to our thighs. How do these thighs feel? How do they hit the mat? How are they surrendering to the floor? Our attention up now to our pelvis, hips, pelvic bowl, coccyx, our sacrum, our glutes. How are our glutes? How are they sitting? What is their relationship to the floor? One slightly raised, is one flattened in? Whirling our awareness around our pelvis, our hips. Feeling how that sacrum sits with the floor. Our attention now to our lower belly, our lower back. Just noticing, is there pain, is there stiffness? Again, not needing to change, no judgment, just becoming aware as we move our attention up through the torso. Feeling that lower back curve, feeling that hollow between the lumbar spine and the floor. Moving our attention up to the thoracic spine, the rib cage. Feeling how that thoracic curve, how it pushes gently into the mat, in the floor. Feeling into the rib cage, intercostal muscles, those tiny muscles in between each rib. You feel into each one, becoming aware, not needing to change or modify. That attention to move into our shoulders. How do those shoulders feel? That relationship between the shoulder blade and the mat. Feeling into the shoulders. The rotation of those shoulders like. One shoulder rotated more than the other. Moving our attention down through the arms, Tops of the arms, the biceps, into the elbows. Is there tension in those elbows? Forearms, the hands. Becoming aware of how they are falling. Turned outwards, inwards. What do your fingers feel like? Noticing. Coming up to the face. The jaw, the throat, the neck. Just feeling into that hollow space behind the neck, between your neck and the mat. Feeling the weight of the back of the head into the mat. Hovering, is it surrendering? Is it equal pressure on both sides? Bringing some curiosity, no judgment. Bring your attention to your face. Is it soft? Tension in the jaw, between the eyebrows, following up the brow. Becoming curious and aware of your face. Keeping your attention now down from the top of your head, right down to the toes. Taking a deep breath in, filling the belly as much as possible and releasing it out through the mouth with a sigh or a shh. Bringing that belly down to the spine. One more time, in through the nose, pushing belly away from the spine. And breathing all the way out with a shh. Pushing that belly back to spine, letting all that air out. And one more time, in through the nose, pushing belly away from spine. And all the way out. Bringing any movement into the body that feels right. Bringing a little gentle movement in as we move into our next exercise. This exercise, we are going to breathe in through the mouth and we are going to stretch ourselves. We will stretch ourselves, fingers out above our heads, pointing our toes, breathing in, bringing a lot of all that tension through the body. So in through the nose, we will breathe and stretch ourselves out, pointing our toes, pointing our fingers above our head, breathing all the way out. And we're going to push our arms down and bring our toes back up. One more demonstration of that. We will be breathing in, and as we do that, we are pointing our toes as pointy as we possibly can. You may even like to squeeze your legs together, and we are going to press the arms above us, stretching as far away, lengthening ourselves as much as we possibly can. And as we do that, we breathe in through the nose, stretching ourselves, hold a little at the top, and breathe all the way out of the mouth. And as we do that, we bring the toes in and we bring the arms down, contracting in through the body. And again, in through the nose, stretching ourselves, pointing our toes, pointing our fingers away. Stretch, stretch, stretch in through the nose. Hold at the top, breathing all the way out of the mouth. Contracting, contracting, contracting. Let's do a couple of rounds of this in your own time. So we are breathing in through the nose and we are stretching, stretching, stretching. Hold, breathe all the way out of the mouth, contracting. Breath between. 3 more rounds of this in our own time. Oh, finishing up your last round. Oh, after you've finished up that last round, the moment to connect in with your body and perhaps allow some of that energy to move. Fingers, your toes, bringing a little jiggle maybe. Just connecting in with your body and just allowing it. Feeling that energy move. Maybe there's an area in your spine, your body that needs a little extra, needs a little stretch. Giving yourself some time and some space in this, that strong practice. Letting your breathing return to its natural rhythm, perhaps taking a couple of deep breaths. Coming back to that stillness posture. And from the beginning, your hands facing upwards, your legs just rotating as much as they need to, just letting them fall. Welcome back to this posture after each exercise to check back in. Just laying here and checking back in with your body. How does it feel now after that practice? I'm aware of the hips, feet, the arms. One side more rotated. One falling out more. Is one more relaxed? No judgment. Just taking a minute to be with our bodies. Our body to give us back that information. Helpful? Did it stir something up? How are we feeling? Breathing in, giving your body whatever it is it needs, giving it some time. I know with my body after I do a practice, just a minute or two to really sink in. Often we are rushing. We don't take the time just to ask ourselves and ask our bodies, hey, how do I feel about this? The body is the tool of the intuition. Moments of stillness like this, we allow the space for our bodies to actually communicate with us. Regulate our nervous systems. Calm all of that stress response. Our nervous systems are the gateway, the bridge between the seen and the unseen, how we experience our reality. A stressed out nervous system will see a stressed out world. Gently bringing your knees up. My body, my hips are not loving this. Taking our time very gently to bring our hips, placing our feet flat on the floor, knees up in there, very gently, very slowly, taking our time, making whatever adjustments need to be made for the body. My knees, my body is calling for some shuffling. So I invite you, we are going to move into this practice now. Just gently, all these windscreen wipers, but just gently starting to sway the knees back and forth, back and forth. Both knees to the right, both knees to the left. Do this in your own time. Perhaps you need it to be fast, slow. My body is calling for today some continuous movement, left to right with my knees, and just a little like scooching of the hips too. I invite you to hear what your body needs. A little lift of the hips as we get to each side. The left, lift to the right hip. To the right, lift the left. As if you are sort of scooching your hips very slowly towards your feet. Each little windscreen wiper of the knees, allowing the elongation of the spine, allowing those little hips to just be ever so slightly smaller, gently towards the feet. Shortening that gap between the hips and the heels. Now, this might be an imagined thing. You may not actually be scooching your hips any closer as we are keeping our feet flat on the ground. But imagining that we are elongating our spine as we are gently rocking from side to side our knees. Now, hips. I invite you to see if you can take those knees just a little bit further each time. It does not need to be a lot further. We are not at this moment aiming to get our feet, our knees to the ground, although maybe you want to. Maybe you want to bring your knees all the way to the ground. This is very intuitive, and we are just moving with the body. We are rocking these hips back and forth, these knees back and forth, getting a little gentle rock through our hips, loosening up the pelvis, elongating the spine, very, very gently moving through those lower two vertebrae. Focusing on our breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. I invite you to experiment with the speed as well. Do you feel like holding just a little bit longer on that left-hand side? You feel like pausing in the middle to see and feel what's happening in that pelvis. You want to hold and pause on the right-hand side once we've moved the knees there. Ooh. Feeling the tension in the body, feeling the pulling of the muscles. Is there pulling in that left hip, in that right hip? Happening in those hips, those glutes as we rock and move the pelvis. What if I pause right here? Shaking, they're trembling. No judgment, curiosity. In your own time, exploring this left to right rocking of the knees, gentle rock in the pelvis. Deepening the breath, exploring that one plane of movement. Being aware of the rest of the body. I know we're focusing on the hips and that right to left movement, but being aware of what are the shoulders doing? Relaxing them, softening them. Allowing yourself to be with the body. What is it calling for? Being aware. Just as we move our hips, moving our knees from right to left, keeping those feet on the floor. As much as you may want to bring some more movement in, I really invite you to stay with this right to left movement. You want to go deeper, you may want to stay shallower. Allowing the body to make whatever noises and sounds it might need to make. Pausing when you need to. Exploring the depth of these windscreen wipers. You may notice the jaw starting to loosen. Pelvis and jaw are intimately connected. Loose pelvis, loose jaw. Tight pelvis, tight jaw. Allow the jaw, the mouth to open, the jaw to soften. And just keep exploring this side to side movement of the knees, the gentle rocking of the pelvis. Focus on the movement, the breath. Pausing where you need to. Slowing down the movement now. Bringing yourself back into stillness. Neutral spine with the feet flat on the ground. And in this position, feet flat on the ground, knees up, arms facing outwards. On our back, I invite you to take a moment connect in now with how the body is feeling. Breath deep into the lower belly, feeling the pelvic bowl. Notice heat, coolness, tingling, aching in the body. And those muscles maybe rippling and shaking. Just allow that to happen. See if you can surrender into it. That is a brilliant nervous system regulation. As animals will shake, regulate themselves after a shock, so will we. Feel that coming in your body. Allow it. Allow those muscle shakes to happen. Enter into whatever your system is. Whenever you feel ready, gently stretching out those legs again, and back into that position, shuffling yourself to make yourself more comfortable. And again, back into that first position and checking in with that body scan. Hmm. Your feet. How are your feet now? What is their relationship with the mat as compared to the beginning, as compared to each other? Does it feel more even? Moving your way up to the ankles, the calves, the knees, thighs. The glutes and the hips. How do they feel now? It's okay if it doesn't feel as good or if now you have pain. The aim here is not, the aim here is not anything but to connect you in to the truth of what is actually going on in your system. Not what we're kidding ourselves, not what we are disconnecting ourselves from, but how do we actually feel? The hips, the pelvic bowl, pubic bones, lower belly, feeling that gap between the lower back and the mat, perhaps flattening the lower back down, arching it back up, feeling in that movement, like thoracic spine, relationship at the shoulder blades to the mat, arms, how are they rotated, the shoulders, how does the face feel, how is the head hitting the mat? Take a moment now. Bring the body into stillness and feel connecting. Now, as I chant one round of the long form Gayatri mantra, I invite you to place your attention on each of the 7 chakras, starting from the base. We inhale to prepare. Om Bhur, Om Bhuvaha, Om Svaha, Om Maha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyam, Om Tatsavitu Vareniyam, Bargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayam. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hands in prayer position over the heart. Thanking your beautiful, beautiful body for everything it does. Pain or tightness or anything in your body right now, it is less than bliss. I want you to place your attention on it right now and say, Now, bringing your legs back up gently, 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 gently up, letting that leg and feet be flat on the ground, the knees up, and rolling yourself onto one of your sides. Gently, gently, gently rolling yourself onto your side, leaning, laying yourself onto your arm like a pillow. Taking your other hand and just softly running your fingers through your hair. And your arm down the side of your body, onto the hip, the glute, the thigh. Just wherever you can. Giving yourself some love. And you may like to stay in this position for a little while. You'd like to join me in coming into seated. Being cross-legged. If you are doing this practice recording, now is a brilliant time to perhaps, pardon me, perhaps take up your journal without breaking your state too much and record some of the things that may have come up during that session. You may also like to chant or to sit in silent meditation for a little while. And for those of you who are live, I will pause the recording so that you may share if you so wish. Such beautiful shares, and some beautiful wisdom from our bodies. So thank you all for joining for this somatic session, and I will see you all very soon. Love to you all. Goodbye.